Have you ever wondered how we could send money, share data, or even cast a vote across the globe instantly without needing a bank, a government, or a big tech company in the middle? Imagine a world where your information and your value are truly your own, where you don't need to ask for permission from a central authority to transact with another person. This isn't science fiction. This is the fundamental question that a groundbreaking technology called blockchain is beginning to answer. For decades, we have relied on trusted third parties to handle our most important interactions. When you send money to a friend, a bank verifies the transaction, moves the funds, and takes a fee. But this model can be slow, expensive, and vulnerable. They create bottlenecks and concentrate power in the hands of a few. What if we could create trust ourselves peer-to-peer? This is the promise of the blockchain. It's a technology that enables us to create a shared, immutable record of events, a digital ledger accessible to everyone in the network. This one is distributed among thousands, even millions of computers. No single person or organization owns it or controls it. The implications are staggering. We are talking about the potential to re-architect our world, to build more democratic, transparent, equitable systems. It's about enabling prosperity for billions of people who are currently excluded from the global economy. The journey into this new frontier has just begun, but it's a revolution that will touch every aspect of our lives, changing how we work, play, trade, and connect with one another on a global scale. So, what exactly is a blockchain? Let's break it down in the simplest terms. Imagine a digital notebook that you share with a group of friends. Every time someone wants to add a new page, say, to record that Alex paid Brenda $10, everyone in the group gets to see it. Before the new page is added, everyone has to agree that the transaction is valid. Once they agree, the page is added to the notebook, and it's sealed. This isn't just a simple entry, it's a permanent record. This shared notebook is the blockchain. It's a ledger, a record of transactions, but it's digital, decentralized, and incredibly secure. The best-known example of this is Bitcoin. When someone sends Bitcoin, the transaction is broadcast to a massive global network of computers. These computers work together to verify that the sender has the funds and that the transaction is legitimate. Once verified, the transaction is bundled with other recent transactions into a block. This block is then cryptographically linked to the previous block, forming a chain. It's a continuous, growing chain of blocks, each one containing a batch of transactions, all locked together in chronological order. But it's not just for money like Bitcoin. Think about digital art, now known as NFTs. An artist can create a piece of digital art and register its ownership on a blockchain. This creates an unforgeable certificate of authenticity. This solves a huge problem in the digital world: how to prove ownership of something that can be easily copied. Your identity, a diploma, the title to your house, your vote in an election, the origin of the coffee you drink. All of these can be represented as a digital asset on a blockchain. It is a distributed database that maintains a continuously growing list of ordered records. It's a new medium for value, just as the internet was a new medium for information. This simple yet powerful idea is what makes blockchain so transformative. Let's dive deeper into how these blocks and chains work together to create such a robust system. Each block in the chain is like a page in our digital ledger. It contains a list of recent transactions that have been verified by the network, but it also contains two other crucial pieces of information. First, it has a unique code, like a fingerprint, called a hash. This hash is generated based on the data inside the block. If even a single character in the transaction data is changed, the hash will change completely. This makes the data inside the block tamper-evident. The second crucial piece of information is the hash of the previous block in the chain. This is what links the blocks together and creates the chain. Each block effectively points to the one that came before it, creating a chronological and unbreakable sequence. Imagine each page of our notebook having a unique seal, and also containing the seal number of the page before it. This structure makes the history of the blockchain incredibly difficult to alter. It's not just one block that is secure. The entire chain is interlinked, reinforcing the integrity of every block that came before it. Now, suppose a malicious actor wanted to change a transaction in an old block, say to reverse a payment they made. They would have to alter the data in that block. The moment they do, the block's hash would change. Because this hash is included in the next block, that next block would now be invalid. The attacker would then have to recalculate the hash for that block, the next one, the one after that, all the way to the most recent block. This would require an immense amount of computing power, far more than any single person or organization could realistically possess. Furthermore, they would have to do this faster than the entire rest of the network. The network is constantly working to add new, legitimate blocks to the end of the chain. And since every participant on the network has a copy of the ledger, they would immediately see the discrepancy. The security and transparency of blockchain technology are what truly set it apart, earning it the nickname the Trust Protocol. Its security doesn't come from a central vault or a powerful administrator, but from its distributed and transparent nature. The first pillar of this security is cryptography. Every transaction is secured using advanced cryptographic techniques. This ensures that only the rightful owner of a digital asset can send it, much like how only you can sign a check from your bank account. This cryptographic signature proves ownership and authorizes the transaction, making forgery nearly impossible. The second pillar is the distributed public ledger itself. The blockchain is not stored in one place. It's replicated across a vast network of computers. This decentralization means there is no single point of failure. To attack the network, a hacker couldn't just target one server. They would have to simultaneously compromise thousands or even millions of computers, which is a practically insurmountable task. Transparency is the third equally important pillar. While the identities of participants can be pseudonymous, the transactions themselves are typically open for all to see. Anyone can view the ledger and verify the history of transactions. This creates an unprecedented level of accountability, helping eliminate corruption and building trust. These elements, strong cryptography, decentralization, transparency, work in concert to create a system where trust is not required, but built in. You don't need to trust the person you are transacting with, nor do you need to trust a third party. You only need to trust the protocol itself. This is why we call it a trust protocol. It provides the foundation for strangers to collaborate and transact securely and directly, opening up a world of possibilities for a more trustworthy and efficient global economy. The potential of blockchain technology extends far beyond cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. We are now seeing the beginnings of its application across countless industries, solving real-world problems and creating new opportunities. In finance, blockchain is being used to streamline international payments, reducing settlement times from days to mere minutes and cutting costs by removing intermediaries. It's also enabling decentralized finance, or DeFi, which aims to build an entire financial system that is open, transparent, and accessible to anyone with an internet connection. Another powerful use case is in supply chain management. How do you know if the organic food you bought is truly organic, or if the diamond you purchased is conflict-free? Blockchain can provide a definitive answer. By recording the journey of a product on an immutable ledger from its origin to the store shelf, companies can offer consumers a verifiable record of its provenance. This transparency builds consumer trust, combats counterfeiting, and ensures ethical sourcing in complex global supply chains. Blockchain is also being explored to transform our public and civic institutions. Imagine a voting system where every vote is recorded as a secure, anonymous transaction on a blockchain. This could make elections more transparent, auditable, and resistant to tampering, potentially increasing public trust in the democratic process. Similarly, it could be used for managing land registries, protecting property rights in developing nations where records are often unreliable or easily corrupted. We are truly at the beginning of the second era of the internet, an internet of value. The first era gave us the internet of information, which democratized data. This next era promises to do the same for value, transforming not just business and finance, but our very notions of governance, ownership, and trust. The journey is just getting started, and the path forward will involve collaboration, innovation, and a willingness to rethink our old models. What are your thoughts on this technological revolution? Do you see its potential, or do you have concerns? Share your ideas in the comments below, and let's continue the conversation. If you found this explanation helpful, please give this video a like and subscribe for more content exploring the technologies shaping our future. Thanks for watching, and remember, we're all part of building this new digital frontier together.